I remember Nelson. Half Caucasian, half raza, no español.
He and I were on the first 2 or 3 buses that drove through that damn ribbon when Wasco State Prison opened. It was like this big old ceremony. They had the mayor there, they had reporters. They hold up this blue ribbon and the bus drives through it. That's it. It's a brand new facility. There was barely enough guards to even run the place. So they just hustled me and Nelson 2 and 2 from holding tank for a day and a half before they gave us our cell assignments. And that's when Nelson told me he robbed bookstores. Come on, man. Who the hell robs bookstores? Then he told me how he went about doing it and his whole thought process. And I was like, dude, you need to see a psych.
This dude rolls up, doesn't want to have anything to do with his own people. He's too good for us. So I figure he's going to get dealt with for not respecting his own race. A year later, he's got no ink, no gang affiliations, and he's hustled himself a clerk job.
I used to say to my students, look, you're a repeat offender. You want to follow your fate? Fine. May you find happiness. But if you want to defy your fate, that starts right here, now, and may you find glory. Inmate Nelson was my clerk. He was some piece of work. I mean, yeah, you had the feeling he was a good kid. But the choices he made that landed him in prison were so black and white, the judge might as well have been a travel agent.
He liked to play games too much. He put up this advertisement on how to make money by being a snitch, pissed the white guys off. They'd tear it down, take it to the sergeant, they'd accuse him of recruiting for rats.
Chapters include who informs, motives, compensating informers, working criminal informers, civilian informers, informers in prison, cops and how they think, how to become an informer, protecting yourself against informers, and more.
And Nelson come back the next day and put it back up and put it back up. And when it finally got around to the watch commander, he couldn't keep a straight face. Pissed the Peckerwoods off all over again.
So Nelson ran the waiting room for the guys that were scheduled to go before the board prison terms. The hearings is where you'd find out if you were going to go home or not, so the room was tense. You know, Nelson just made it worse. He put out magazines like Creative Knitting and Bird Life, just piss off the inmates. One time he found some baling wire, fastened all the chairs in the waiting room together where they're side by side. And it was funny to watch these guys get as small as they could, especially the Peckerwoods, when they would sit next to a black guy. Nelson sitting there with his headphones on, typing, smiling.
I read a story once about a jogger who gets viciously mauled by a pit bull and struggles to understand why. I thought it was very good, so I suggested he enter the upcoming prison writing competition. So what does he do? He looks at me like I couldn't possibly be serious, and he says, how is winning some writing contest going to help me get a job when I get out? How is that supposed to fix things with my family? My jaw dropped. The gall of this idiot. I suggested he simply try something new, right? Just try it. He's already thinking he's going to win, and he's pissing on it at the same time.